What's up, YouTube? How you doing? I appreciate you for tuning in to another video. So this one right here is the beginning of our sports chat. So with that being said, we know that the preseason games have started. I don't really put too much on the preseason. If the offense plays bad for the first quarter, the defense doesn't play good, I don't really put too much stock in it. The games don't count. They really are important for the young guys, the guys trying to make the team, you know, undrafted guys that can possibly be a contributor to the team. So I watch it for that, purpose if my team's playing or any team's playing. I just a lover of football. I love football since I've been about 7 years old. Um, it's just been everything to me. My favorite player was Joe Montana. He played the 49ers, so the 49ers were my first favorite team. Then when he traded to Kansas City, I stayed in Junction City, Kansas. Shout out to the Big Red One, to our military people, our armed forces people. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate it. It goes beyond saying that you be away from your families. I understand. Also being a military brat as a child. So, man, thank you very much for your service. Veterans too, thank you very much for your service. I appreciate you for tuning into this video again. So understand first and foremost is this is a Chiefs channel. So with my Super Bowl prediction coming, understand that the AFC team is Kansas City. I believe that Kansas City has a lot of competition in the AFC. I believe that the Titans do look good with Henry. They're running a centric team. It's very interesting to see how they will integrate Julio into the offense along with their other receiver. The main thing that we'll be trying to see about the Titans will be, will Tannehill be able to become the quarterback that they're paying him to be, or will he become more of a game manager who hands the ball off to Henry, who gives Henry those intermediate things that he needs because Matt Ryan is an MVP. That's a difference in quarterback play. So that's the thing that we have to look for when we begin to talk about the Titans. Now, when we begin to talk about the Ravens, we know that Lamar Jackson is dynamic. He is Michael Vick 2.0, who can put up 7 easily with a lane. But we'll also have to see now, will he be able to take the next step as a passer to be able to hurt you as Michael Vick did with the Eagles, where I can hurt you with my legs and I can hurt you with my arms, and making good, judicious decisions with the ball, and making sure we're getting something for every single play. So that'll be very important to see if the Ravens will be able to keep that up. If they can do that, then it's possible. But I'm still not betting against Patrick Mahomes, our quarterback. I'm thankful that the Chiefs drafted him. I think Deshaun Watson, I don't really know what he could have did with it. That's not the history. Once they took Pat Mahomes, after being a little bit upset about wanting Deshaun Watson from Clemson, seeing what he did to Alabama 2 years in a row. But they sat him for a year. He showed flashes in the Denver game that he came back and won by getting back in the game. Like, we were up on Denver, right? And then they took him out the game. And then somehow we made some plays that happened where, they ball goes their way in rivalry games, and he comes back in the game and gets us the win. So it's like, I knew then at that moment, I was like, if Alex Smith can't take us to the Super Bowl, then I just can't see him being the quarterback next season with what Pat Mahomes showed just in that one game against all of Denver's starters. So, man, I can't bet against him. I say all the time, when they asked me when we played against the Bucks, I said take the Bucks because we didn't have a line. It wasn't as we've seen where they show how many yards he ran around running away from them. We'll see. I'm not giving away my Super Bowl pick, and I just kind of give it away in a little bit. I'm really kind of on the fence about it. So let me just think as we continue to discuss this. So, Jacksonville, I like to see what Trevor Lawrence is going to do. One thing we know about rookie head coaches when they come in, that most of the time they're either pretty competitive or they make the playoffs because it's a new offense. I like to see what they'll do. Um, let me see. I'm just going through thinking about team. Buffalo Bills. Yes, I think that they could very well, give us a run for our money. But again, as I said, if I'm putting a game on the line, as in football, that's what's most interesting about it. And other than any other sport, is that basketball is 7 games, baseball is 7 games, hockey is 7 games, but football is 1 game only. So if I have 1 game only with a full roster or at least an intact line, I'm taking Mahomes over any quarterback in the AFC, and almost all the quarterbacks in the AFC. Depending on who we play in the Super Bowl. But again, I have to get to that on how I'm on the fence about who I'm believing will make it. Now, me being here in the beautiful state of Texas and the wonderful city of Dallas, I know the Cowboys are America's team. So I will be talking about them as well because those games are being played on TV. But I also will be talking about the Chiefs here and other teams as well. With the NFC, and like I said, I'm gonna be making more videos, so I'll get to your teams, throughout the message. Just stay with me, and I'll write it down a little bit more. But this is just the opening intro that we just getting to know each other, so you can get to see my mind on how I have a passion for sports. I'm here to help you get on your grind. Follow my mind on what I'm telling you about how to do these things with these sports, and you'll be able to get in the right way. With your money, if that's what you like to do, or if you just like to hear about football and debate, we'll do the same things here as well. But it's most high purpose is what I'm talking about. So, as I said, the Cowboys. The Cowboys, I believe that me and a friend, because I gotta keep it real, we family here. Me and a friend have a bet that the Cowboys not making the playoffs. I just feel like the Cowboys are not gonna make the playoffs. But it ain't no nothing but a little bit straightening if they happen to do win and make the playoffs. But I just don't see it with the schedule they have, and then on the fact that I'm really just not in love with the secondary that they have and how they'll be able to stop the big name receivers and the big name quarterbacks of the NFC. Because one thing the NFC has is big name quarterbacks. You got Stafford, you got Kyler, you got Russ. You know what I'm saying? You got Brady. Man, that's Rodgers. Then you got these rookies coming in that's showing flashes. Like, it's a lot that y'all gonna have to deal with, and I don't see the secondary doing it. Now if the line starts doing its business and its linebackers do that, because I don't see people running on you. And then y'all say, Chris, what about our offense? Now see, I'll give it kudos where it is. Y'all's offense is at least top 5 if it's clicking. But where the offensive line is, and we have to understand that I'm a watcher of football. So the offensive line is the most important thing to a offense, because that's the only way the quarterback will have time to get it to the receiver. And that's the beautiful thing about quarterbacks. It is the most position to have the importance besides the pitcher. We'll jump into the pitcher thing a little bit later. But I just have questions about the line. Then I have questions about how that's going to respond to that. Will these men be able to stay healthy? Y'all lost the center. He retired. So will all these people be able to stay healthy to protect Dak? And we'll go from there when all that happens. So with that being said, I'm still standing on what I said and double down on it that the Cowboys not going to make the playoffs. I believe the Giants are going to make the playoffs. simply because they made a lot of improvement in areas and their defense is good. And I believe Washington will be able to shave off a couple games in the East because they have a monster of a line. And that, again, as I said, lines make up the difference. That is why Tom Brady doesn't have 9 rings, because they lost to the Giants twice. So 9 rings, because they had a line to get to him. That's the reason why Pat Mahomes lost in the Super Bowl, because they had a line to get to him. So that's just what it is. And at the end of the day, the Chiefs will be going back to the Super Bowl. And the team that I believe they'll be playing, I believe it'll be a competitive season. I believe that we're going to watch some games that we're going to be like, wow, we're going to be very much entertained. This is the first official time where we can really say that it's going to look like it's right for the picking for an interesting season. But I just know that in the AFC, Kansas City is going to come out of the AFC. If you're going to be betting your money, I wouldn't be betting it against Mahomes. That's what I know, and that's what I'm going to tell you, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Number 15. Now, in the NFC, it's so many different teams. It's where you got Tom Brady, you got Rodgers. Now, what I'm thinking about, as in Super Bowl wise, as we know, I'm taking Kansas City. I'm believing that it's going to be back to back again, where this time Kansas City going to do as T.I. said in one of his songs, we're going to beat they mother bleeping butts like they often been beat this time around, because we're going to be intact. But I believe it'll be the Chiefs versus the Bucks again with the rubber match. We played them in the regular season, beat the brakes off of them. They got us where it mattered, and we're going to finish it off with us meeting again for it, and at this time the Chiefs will prevail over Tom Brady. And that's just what I think will happen. It's going to be a very interesting season. We'll see how Joe Burrow returns from injury. Let's see what Tua will be able to do with the Dolphins. I believe it'll be a lot of interesting teams because they're adding more teams to the playoffs. So I believe it'll be more interesting now. Games will really be what they are. The Steelers and Big Ben will be interesting to see how Big Ben's going to do his thing. You know, we got a very interesting season coming up. But as I said, in the AFC, Kansas City, I'm not going against them. I ain't betting against them. I wouldn't do that. NFC, I'm leaning towards the Bucks because I've learned not to bet against Tom Brady. But with Pat Mahomes is a whole other thing. But that's not to bet against him to get into the Super Bowl. So that's what we're thinking about right now. You know, is getting to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs will be on a revenge tour. All the teams should watch out because we're going to show that if we had been, where we needed to be on our line, that we would have been able to put up a better Super Bowl than that. Trust me, them guys are stewing about it all off season, and they're going to come ready. And Arrowhead's going to be rocking. So, y'all get ready for that. Smoke is happening. AFC belongs to us. NFC team just deal through that. I know everybody has to have hope. You all have to do. Everybody's saying their team gonna go there. So we're gonna discuss all those matters as more games go by. We're gonna begin to dive into it more. I'm gonna sit back, watch the Chiefs game here in a few, and then I'm gonna look over the schedules and find out what week 1 games will be, and I'll be able to start telling you who will win this game, who won't win this game. We'll really start having a deep discussion about why I think that, and what I think will happen. And if it goes the way that, I kind of predicted it, then hey, we'll start building more. I really appreciate you for tuning in to another video. I'm going to drop more of these. We're going to begin to get this channel pumping. I talk about many things on my channel. I think it's very important for people to understand that. I want you to get a wide array of things. I want you to really just, be able to grow with me to where I'm trying to go, as in kind of like a broadcasting type where we're just talking about just a multitude of things while mixing it in with, you know, the sports and just different things, because that's really what I'm interested in. But I'm also a person that likes to read a lot, that, you know, thinks about life in an overall perspective of so many different ways that I want to be able to express to you, so that, you know, we can build to bigger and better things. So, and the only way that's possible is with you. I can't do it alone. We got to do this together. So, if you want me to talk about a specific team, I promise you I can give you a breakdown like you would never have been told to you on the team. So, with that being said, get down in the comments and tell me what you think, and be like, why you didn't mention my team? And then when you do that, I'm going to mention your team, and I probably won't mention your name. Depends on how far the discussion goes in the comments. But I will definitely get to whatever you're asking me. We're going to definitely get this. I'm Coach Chris. We are here in the gymnasium where I'm going to work your mind out. We're going to try to work the pocketbooks out, because it's legally we can go out here and get it. Football has always been a science of what it is, regardless of whether it's a passing league or not. It has a certain way that's always been what it is, because teams have a certain way. There's running teams, there's passing teams, there's running gun, there's all offense teams, there's offense team with no defense. There's turnovers, and then there's a quarterback being safe and careful with the ball. So those have always been in part of the game. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to this video. More will be coming, and I'm out.